Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We're George and Martha.
Hello.
Today we'll be recapping Big Little Lies, Season 2, the premiere episode, What Have They Done?
It begins.
It begins. I was under the impression that this was Big Little Lies, but I seem to have been mistaken.
Okay.
It seems more like a reboot of Dynasty or Peyton Place.
Yeah.
This is it's not the same show. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I will always enjoy Nicole Kidman, Reese
These actors.
Witherspoon, and Meryl. And I'm not even really okay.
This
God
gets.
forgive
This is
me.
where things get dark.
God forgive me. I'm not that much of a Meryl Streep fan. I've always been more of a Jessica Lange kind of girl, and I keep picturing her in Meryl's role. But I will say Meryl's really, really good in this. I will totally concede that. The thing is, she's stealing the spotlight, and she doesn't even have to do anything.
She's so good that she sticks out, sort of like a sore thumb. And that's not to say that the others aren't doing well. One thing that I was thinking is that she's much older and she's had more experience, and she's just better than them just because of that. And
But you'd think Nicole Kidman has mileage.
she does.
See, I could see that being the case with Reese Witherspoon. I like Reese Witherspoon, but I never thought of her as much of a heavy actress. Nicole, though, has done some really major work.
Do you think it's because they've already been doing it and Nicole isn't able to rise to the occasion?
It may just be the way that it's written right now. It just seems like from the get-go, so we should talk about what's happened. Celeste is having a nightmare about the events of last season and Perry being killed and all of that. And then Meryl Streep, is waking her up. You late for school? You said rape. Who was raped? So she doesn't have to do anything, and she's so menacing.
And I'm wondering if she's supposed to stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, she is. She's kind of like the person who comes and
Very
disrupts
mysterious.
everything.
She's very mysterious.
Yeah, she's like Blanche Dubois. Blanche Dubois arrives and throws everything off in Streetcar. I guess she's the inciting incident this time. All of a sudden, the balance is shifted. She's making everybody feel funny.
Yeah.
Even the little boys, when they're driving to school, they're giving their mother these looks.
They love her. They love the grandma. It's so surreal seeing Meryl Streep play a grandma. But we're going off course. She had the dream, though. In the dream, she is pregnant.
I had forgotten about that.
But it was never in the previous
that wasn't
season.
in the original?
No. I mean, there was discussion of him wanting a girl. He wanted a girl, and she shut him down. But then in the dream, she is pregnant, and then they do a flashback to him kicking her in the stomach right before he's thrown down the stairs. Why are you smiling?
Because it's just so awful. It's a little melodramatic.
It's gotten really, and I felt like they handled it well in the first season, but this season it's almost like they went over the line.
It's reminding me of when I was in a playwriting workshop and I wrote something, and it wasn't the worst thing I've ever written, but it had a lot in it. And the teacher was very funny, and his feedback was, well, let's not turn this into the Real Housewives of Port Washington, okay? It was just like there was a bit much going on. And that's how I feel. I feel like, and I've seen the original, the first season, a couple of times, and I am already a little bit lost coming back into this. It just feels like a completely new show. Oh my goodness. So Reese Witherspoon, it just occurred to me that Big Little Lies is, I don't know if you've seen Election. That was Reese Witherspoon's big movie when she was very young.
I think her best performance.
I think so too. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what happened to Tracy Flick. It's like Vivian Leigh with Streetcar being the sequel to Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Reese Witherspoon. It's like, oh, Tracy Flick was really ambitious, never made it anywhere in politics, and now is a real estate agent in Monterey and bullying everyone on the PTA. She even sounds like Tracy Flick, you know?
Yeah,
and
what did
she's
she
like,
say?
just move out of the way for Chloe. Okay, let's just move out of the way. Come on, let's go. And then she starts getting into it. It reminded me of her dynamic with Mr. McAllister in Election, the way she's talking to, what is that? Is that the principal?
Yeah.
That guy? Yeah. When he goes after the little Michigas of last year, she's like, "Ah, are we really going to do this? Are we going to do this? It's...
The Otter song, by the way.
Renata's there, and Renata introduces herself to the new teacher, and I got a little hint of racism.
I do like that there's a black teacher because you know it is going to go in that territory.
The way Renata speaks to him is very much talking
Yeah.
down, but you know she doesn't think of herself that way. She's a feminist and
Oh,
liberal
yeah,
and
absolutely.
progressive, but yeah, she's kind of like that phony liberal that acts like they care so much.
But if there's no immigrants staying at my house, you know what I mean?
Oh, how dare you say that immigrants are... it should go back where they came from. How dare you? And then, okay, well, we're going to ship them to your city.
No.
That's despicable. But I love that when she's like, so my little Amabella
was strangled.
bullied last year. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen again.
The marching band plays her off. Oh, I love her so much.
I love her too. And then we have this brilliant scene where
Oh, of course.
Queen Meryl, Mary Louise, is...
Which is her real name. Meryl's real name.
That's right. Has a little encounter with
Someone
Madeline.
very short.
It's hysterical. She's like, I've always found little people untrustworthy. You're very short.
Now do it as Jessica.
Yeah, see, I can't help it, but think, how would Jessica do this? And I was just thinking, she'd do that, like, deep breathy thing. She'd be like, you're very short. I've always found short people to be untrustworthy.
But
And a-
she would,
and a
I said,
taker.
she would wear sunglasses.
Little people are takers. Don't take it personally. I'm a taker.
That's it. The smile. And she would be reading a newspaper. Meryl's reading a book.
It would be. I mean, Meryl's so good.
She's so good. Which is a problem.
It is, because she's sucking the air out of everybody else. I don't want to see anybody else.
It's true. And I get so overwhelmed when I see Meryl and I have like a very passionate relationship. I'd say I have a very passionate relationship with Meryl.
Even in that scene in the car with Celeste, and Celeste telling the boys to stop fighting, which is very disturbing to me, the way they're hitting each other.
Oh, which is, I mean, that's spot on, though, to me.
It is, that the kids are behaving like their abusive
That
father.
was like a very...
So they're hitting, and she's like, boys, stop it. And then you just see Meryl, quiet. Oh, made me go quiet.
And it's...
Sorry.
I can't wait to see what happens with Meryl, though, her character, Mary Louise.
I am already getting the vibe that maybe Celeste isn't saying the things that Mary Louise says that she is. I feel like she could be gaslighting her. Celeste is just like, oh, I overslept. Oh, boys, get up, let's go. You said rape. It just seemed a little weird. I don't know. Let's look out for that, because I'm wondering if she really said the things that Meryl says she said. Okay. Some of these scenes are a little weird and unnecessary. Like Ed running into that lady.
Well, it's probably not unnecessary because I'm sure it's foreshadowing, you know?
A little heavy-handed, right?
The theater director.
Boop.
The theater director's wife. Yeah.
Oh, how odd. We bumped grocery carts.
How...
Wow, you seem different. Oh, I had my breasts done. Okay.
I love Ed and I love Adam Scott, though, I will say.
I do too. I just thought the scene...
No, it was.
All my criticism so far is really not of the actors. It's the writing. The writing has been a bit weak.
I thought last season, the therapy sessions were very on point, very realistic.
I thought they were very real.
I thought the way the therapist handled Celeste's issues with the husband and
even
whatnot.
the way she handled Perry and realizing Perry was violent, that was excellent. And now it seems a little bit more fantastical.
Generic.
It seems like, right, your typical sitcom idea of therapy. She does say a couple of things to Celeste that I thought were kind of obvious, where she says, have you thought about dating? And Celeste is like, that part of me is gone.
Yeah.
And she says, so you're still married, but your husband is dead. Okay. Yeah, we get that. What is going on with Jane? First of all, who gave Shailene Woodley this horrible hairdo? The terrible dye job and the bangs.
I know.
What is up with that?
And so she decided to get a job in an aquarium.
This scene was very poorly done, and I don't blame the actors at all. I think they've been directed this way.
It's a new director, by the way.
It is, and it's really awkward, the scene, and it's forced. Hey, kids, want to know a fun fact about octopus? And she's telling them how the octopus will eat her mate.
Yeah.
And then some kid, you know, because this is such a normal kid thing to say, how come the more beautiful something is, the more deadly?
and then
her,
the new love interest,
who seems to possibly be on the spectrum, which I think will come into play, just turns and goes,
yeah, I don't even know what he said. It was just
it's to warn. They're beautiful, to warn other creatures not to come close. And that was that. Bonnie is losing it. Bonnie has left the building.
Rightfully so.
Absolutely. And I love Nathan. I do. But how can you be so clueless as to why your wife has checked out of the marriage?
Well, does he actually know the specifics of her?
No, I don't think he knows exactly.
But the trauma of the whole event.
She was there when this man was beating the crap out of his wife. The other women are trying to pull him off. He's hitting them, and then he fell to his death. Oh, gee, Bonnie, what's going on with you? Why'd you go running for 2 hours and not answer your phone?
I just thought you didn't like Tahoe.
What? And then, I mean, we do get a great scene after this where he goes up.
To Ed?
He goes up to Ed.
Which I like.
Which is really awkward. It's like, you know, it's true. It's valid for Ed to say, so you're coming to your wife's husband as her ex-husband to ask for advice with your new wife?
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? You're a snide fuck. You know that? Snide fuck. Snide fuck. Snide fuck. I'm going to call you that from now on. Snide fuck. Snide fuck. I liked it. They have good chemistry.
They do.
On screen. Okay. Oh, and then we get the Renata photo shoot.
This is, I'm sure, gay
it's
men.
My house.
She is, you know, as the young gay kids would say today, iconic.
She is iconic. I mean, Renata is the best thing about this show. I'm sorry, Mary Louise, who is wonderful and stealing everybody's thunder. Laura Dern is the only one that's holding a candle to her right now. Oh my God. She doesn't even have much of a role in this premiere. Yet. But still, every scene she's been in. She was in it for what, all of 5 minutes?
Steals it.
Right? Scaring the crap out of the new teacher. Okay? Walking through the marching band.
Yeah.
And now doing this photo shoot. It's my house. She's great. And her husband.
She reminds me of you.
I wish.
Okay, now the husband. Side note, perfect casting. I always felt he was a sketchy fuck, even the first season. There's something very weird going on with him in the train and the baseball bat, and then he's drinking, you know, what, brandy or some shit, scotch.
Yeah, he's playing with toy trains, drinking, and holding onto a baseball bat.
Very sketchy.
So his wife's outside, right? You be him and I'll be Renata. Doing a photo shoot. Hi, honey.
Oh. What are you doing?
Women's Magazine. It's my house.
And then he's... What? I don't understand.
Something is not
Very
right.
symbolic. The little town. He's standing over the little town with a baseball bat. Is he going to smash the town to pieces?
It's like they're trying too hard to spoon feed us. Like, something's going to happen.
Where is the Renata spinoff?
That's what they should have done so far. I mean, maybe we're being a little quick to judge. We'll have to wait until the next episode.
Yeah, why are we judging so quickly?
It's just that it's so strikingly different.
And there's like, it was so hyped, the excitement of it. And last season was phenomenal.
Tracy Flick is now meeting with the college counselor, and this is a...
You mean Lori Loughlin?
Thinly veiled allusion to Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin.
Do you think this was filmed before all this? Probably, right?
I don't know about that. I mean, they could have added scenes and stuff. Yeah, you're right.
She's not breaking the rules or anything. She's not doing anything illegal, but it's just, you know, the woman wanting to uphold the family image and, I have a successful daughter. She goes to Yale.
But this is the thing. You know that Madeline is 100% the type who would pay $500,000 to get Abigail into USC.
Totally.
She absolutely would.
And, well, it's interesting because Lori Loughlin's daughter didn't want to go to USC. Similar to Abigail.
I liked everything Abigail said. She's like, I don't want to go to college. They drink, they fuck, they mull over a sex change.
It's true.
It's absolutely true. Maybe they wanted her to go to NYU. But the way that Madeline talks, it's so Tracy Flick. She has a 3.8 GPA. She could easily get into any of the schools of her choice. And the college counselor's like, well, she doesn't have the legacy, which is... It only just occurred to me watching it again that hits Madeline hard because Madeline didn't go to college.
Yes.
So that's why she's so pit bullish about this whole thing. She doesn't need legacy. She has excellent grades, very high IQ.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of money, if that's an issue.
Also, rewinding back to Madeline trying to sell that house.
This was kind of a throwaway scene. I don't understand.
Is it for comedic effect, or is it just to show that she's not...
She's got her AirPods, those Apple AirPods on, and somebody's there trying to look at a house, and she's like, I mean, I don't understand. I thought Tahoe was supposed to...
Excuse me.
Yeah, just 1 second. And
What was that about?
No idea. I couldn't tell you. I can't find any... I would have thrown that scene out. It was filler.
It was filler unless they're trying to say something about her character, or I don't know.
We'll get a nice Nicole Kidman PTSD scene. Nicole Kidman is standing wistfully on the beach like Joan Crawford at the end of Humoresque, thinking about Perry and their violent lovemaking.
I have to say, at the moment, they're handling the PTS thing fairly well.
They are. I'm sure she's bombarded with these thoughts of him. Not just the violence either.
Yeah, they're not going... like when what was it? When Madeline was holding the horn too long. Turn it, stop, take your hand off the wheel.
Yeah.
Or take your hand off the horn, I don't know.
That's right, I forgot to mention
There's
that.
little things that I think are done well.
That's right, yeah, it freaked her out because Madeline has road rage. And Madeline doesn't do anything that crazy, she's just holding the horn too long.
Yeah.
And she's like, stop, Madeline, stop.
Yeah.
And she's panic stricken. Yeah, hypervigilant.
Yeah.
I think she's doing a good job of that. And I wouldn't even really credit that as so much to the director as I would just Nicole Kidman being a good actress. She does get that panic-stricken look over little things.
Yeah.
That's very real. And that was a very Tracy Flick thing. Well, I'm sorry, when I lean in, I really lean in. And then, well, who is looking for an apartment but Mary Louise?
She's so mysterious, so bizarre.
It's really, really weird. It's really, really weird. I mean, it's great.
A flat. Not an apartment. A flat.
It's just, this is where it starts to feel like Dynasty. Of course Mary Louise is sitting at Madeline's real estate office looking for a flat. Of course she's there to say, you're wearing heels.
I mean, I like it, though, that she's just sort of dicking around town, popping up. I mean, there is something kind of fun about that.
It is. It's just that I cannot stop thinking of Jessica doing the scene.
Oh, I know.
I see you wearing heels. No. You're right. I was out of line. It's just that I had a friend. She was a bubbly thing, and it was to cover her ugliness. You're not ugly, are you? I want a flat.
Yeah, I want a flat.
I thought I would just get a flat to look in on the boys. Would you like to be my realtor?
Jane is dancing.
That looked like a Yoplait or Tampax Pearl commercial.
The music,
yeah,
the
Jane,
lighting.
And it's all blurry behind her and she's on the beach. Like Tampax Sport, dance on the beach.
And then she's interrupted.
Don't let your period stop you. Yeah, she's interrupted. That guy from the aquarium comes up to her. Hey!
Oh, I'm so...
You on the spectrum?
Now, is he trying to make a joke? Because, everybody's on the spectrum now. Everybody. So is he trying to make a joke, or was he sort of implying that he is on the spectrum?
He is, because she says, "Oh, I don't think so. Are you?"
And he gets awkward.
What the hell Okay, whatever. That's very, very weird. But then I guess his purpose is to let her know that she's known, because he tells her, well, you can't act weird around here because the parents have a thing about leaving their kids with psychos.
Yeah.
You know how people talk. I don't have to tell you. What do you mean? You don't have to tell. What does that mean? You're one of the Monterey Five, right? It's the rich white people version of the Central Park Five.
It is. I mean, it's accurate, though.
People
would,
No, it is. It's funny. And then they have their huddle because,
Which I liked. I liked the huddle because that's like sort of the heart of the show.
Jane is reporting back about, well, he seemed to know. And then Renata, she's
with her
so
gossip.
Good.
She's so good. What was she saying? Well, I spoke to so-and-so. And
so it's not completely over. And, there's gossip for another day. But
it's...
But they've got nothing.
And then Nicole is, okay, good. She makes eye. Good.
So then, Tracy Flick, Madeline, goes to talk to her daughter, but who comes to the door? Depressed Bonnie. I have to say, Zoe Kravitz is really good.
Yeah.
She's giving a great performance.
Yeah.
She looks like someone who killed somebody and then is forced to lie about the whole situation. But she said what we've been talking about. Why did they do this? Why did they lie? Because we all know white people get away with everything to begin with, but they really did nothing wrong.
Do you think it's because Madeline initially lied and said he slipped, so now they all just need to go along with that?
Right.
Because...
But why? Why did Madeline lie? Why not just tell them what happened?
I don't know. Sometimes in the moment you just say things that, you panic.
But it seemed like they all came up with that, and they forced her into going along with it. It seemed like they had a moment to get their stories straight and just say he slipped.
She was sort of the odd man out.
Because, Madeline is the bully. That's what Mary Louise keeps alluding to, that she's a little bully. I'm sure it was her idea. We cannot tell them that this was a murder. We have to let them know. But it was a clear case of self-defense. Right? The guy, they all had marks on them. He hit everybody.
Yeah.
What were they supposed to do? Right, they were right next to a staircase. They would have gotten away with it, but instead, they lied. I don't think they've done enough to check up on Bonnie. I think that they've sort of dismissed her.
Out. Yeah.
It's like, they all went through it together, but she did the actual killing.
And they're not considering that.
No, they don't care. They really don't seem to care. And then... Madeline has this great scene with her daughter.
Here we go. Faux liberal. The faux liberals again.
Here we go with
I don't care about homeless people.
The Felicity Huffman liberals. Yeah, her daughter's saying, so I do have a plan. I'm not going to college. I'm going to work for a startup that helps homeless people. I don't give a fuck about homeless people. I mean, I do, but, can't you just donate money to a charity that helps homeless people while you go to college and have a real job?
And then I immediately envision Madeline at like a gala, a charity function, all dressed up to help the homeless, giving a speech.
Yeah, I know. San Francisco has a terrible homeless problem.
Yeah.
I liked this scene, though, with Jane and Celeste, where Jane says, don't you hate me for sleeping with your husband?
And you forget, I never put any of this into context. Because they were married. Celeste and, what's his name? Perry were married. I guess it never occurred to me that,
while she was pregnant with their twins.
He raped
Jane. That's why the kids are all the same age in school.
Yeah, it never occurred to me.
Well, she says, Jane, why aren't you cashing the checks for Ziggy? Because that's true. She says, your son is entitled to them. He was part of Perry's estate. And Jane won't cash them, and I think she feels responsible. And she says that she was complicit, not in the rape, but in flirting with him when she knew he was married. Going back to a room with him or whatever went on, which is so typical. None of it is her fault. None of it, right? She didn't ask for that to happen. Obviously, a woman should be able to do everything short of having sex with a man and be able to say no, but she blames herself so terribly. And then she asks Celeste, are you glad he's dead? It's complicated.
Which is that's a
And then she has this vision of him and how much she loved him.
Dancing.
That was sad.
And he and the boys.
Because that's so typical.
It is complicated.
We always remember the good. When someone dies, you tend to remember the good and
or you
filter
try
out the bad.
really, really hard to remember the good and filter out the bad.
I took all these psychology classes in school, and they always talked about that, how people have a tendency, particularly the elderly, the older you get, the more you remember the good. That you try not to let, because when you're younger and you're fighting with your parents, you seem to remember every horrible thing they did to you, but then you get older and older and older, and you just look back fondly at everything because you know that you don't have any of it back. And now it's dinner time with Celeste, Mary Louise, and the boys. And Mary Louise is being all passive-aggressive to Celeste about, well, they can't have fast food every night. She's like, they don't have it every night.
That's a really good impression.
All right, I'm sorry. I really like Nicole Kidman, but do you notice every so often the Australian accent pops out?
Every so often.
Every night.
I mean, I'm able to look past it.
I am too. It just makes me laugh because
No,
it reminds me for a minute. Oh, right, you're Nicole Kidman. Every so often, I'm like, was that Steve Irwin? And then the boys start hitting each other.
With a fork. It's like...
It's getting a little scary. Yeah, it's like a little bit of this and then...
Yeah. What is wrong with you? Yeah. Do it as
like,
Nicole.
I barely touched him.
God damn it.
You stabbed him with the fork. That is unacceptable.
And her reaction now to the boys is far more disturbing. Like, she's no longer a mom. It's, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yep.
God damn it.
I know.
It's not like Josh.
It's not, stop Go to timeout.
No.
Go to timeout.
She talks to him like they're
what is wrong
adults.
With you stabbed him with a fork.
I wonder why she talks to him.
But then they say, I miss Dad. And she goes, we're all recovering. And then Mary Louise says, it's grief, Celeste. It's not something to recover from. And then she goes on her monologue, this iconic monologue about
fat, balding men and their
her anger
wives.
and grief, and how she was sitting in the park and watching all these pudgy, bald, middle management men, and they're all happy, and they didn't have a patch on her son. So boys, I was so angry. I could just scream. Do you want to hear it? Yeah? Okay. Oh.
Mary Louise!
My grief is too loud for you. Oh, please.
You're scaring the boys.
Well, we get this quick flash of Jane doing a drawing of Perry.
With tentacles.
Right. He's the octopus.
Oh, he is the of course.
It's the octopus from the beginning. What are you drawing? Oh, how edgy. Bonnie is wandering around the police station. I guess she's thinking of clearing her conscience, but we don't know what's going to happen. That's a quick scene. We just see her standing there, lurking around. Celeste is having a nightmare that she's in a lineup and they're all in their Halloween costumes.
No, gala costumes.
That's right, excuse me.
Fundraiser.
Their little gala costumes, grown-up Halloween. They're all dressed up, and then Perry steps out to point to Celeste as the one who did it. And she comes running out, screaming. Yeah.
And then we transition.
I'll fucking kill you! And then, of course...
Mary Louise comes in like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's as though she doesn't sleep.
She doesn't.
Celeste, what happened? No, they're there. No. Another nightmare? Oh, no. So, who are we planning to kill?
I'm just looking forward to more Renata.
Yeah, I think Renata's going to have a bigger role in the next episode, and we'll be back with that. Any other thoughts?
I'm done.
I'm done too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.